Tonight on Global TV News Prime, Nigeria Air Force strikes flatten bandits' enclaves, kill dozens in Zamfara State. In business, Nigeria's foreign exchange reserves increased by $4.39 billion in 1 year. On the foreign scene, 13 killed, dozens injured in Mexico train accident. And tonight in sports, Anthony Joshua injured in Nigeria car crash with 2 others dead. Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime here on Global Television. Coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, I'm Uyi Agumofwegbe, reminding our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365, and Star Times, channel 276. Tonight, we begin by telling you the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, has warned that the country may soon face another nationwide shutdown of medical services. This follows the federal government's failure to honor a memorandum of understanding previously signed with the association. In an urgent appeal to senior medical professionals and respected elders, the association posted on X, titling its urgent appeal to avert a looming nationwide strike. The Secretary General of the association, Dr. Shaibu Ibrahim, cautioned that the nation is on the brink of a total and indefinite comprehensive strike. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Medical Association has criticized the federal government for what it describes as the paltry allocation to the health sector, noting that the proposed 2.48 trillion naira for 2026 amounts to approximately 10,400 naira a citizen for the fiscal year. The association said the amount allocated to the health sector is unacceptable and grossly inadequate. This estimate is based on the 2.48 trillion naira health sector allocation contained in President Bola Tinubu's 58.18 trillion naira appropriation bill presented to the National Assembly, and the United Nations Population Fund's estimated 237.5 million population for Nigeria. The Nigerian Air Force has recorded a major breakthrough in the ongoing offensive against armed banditry in Zamfara State with the successful execution of 2 precision airstrikes on key bandit strongholds in Safe local government area. The report.
The coordinated air operation were carried out on December 28, 2025 by the air component of the Operation Fanseng Yamma Sector 2, following sustained intelligence gathering and surveillance of identified bandit enclaves at Turba Hill and Kachala Dogo's Sule camp. At Turba Hill, the intelligence and aerial surveillance confirmed heavy bandit presence and a central operation structure within the enclave. NAF air assets engaged the target after positive identification, delivering a precision strike that destroyed the structure and neutralized several bandits. Post-strike's assessment confirmed the collapse of the hideout and the disruption of activities within the area. The second operation focused on Kachala Dogo Sule's camp, widely known as a major bandit stronghold and a hub for the production of improvised explosive devices. Intelligence report linked the camp to recent IED attacks along the Dan-Sadao-Magami corridor. During the strike, multiple active structures within the camp were hit, resulting in large fires that destroyed the facilities and neutralized several bandits. The operation significantly degraded the group's ability to manufacture and deploy explosive devices. The airstrikes have dealt a major blow to bandit networks operating in Zamfara State, particularly by dismantling their IED production capability and denying them safe operational bases. The success of the mission underscores the effectiveness of intelligence-led air operations and close coordination among forces involved in Operation Fanseng Yamma. The Nigeria Air Force says it remains fully committed to sustained joint operations aimed at dismantling criminal networks, protecting communities, and restoring lasting peace and security across the northwest and other parts of the country.
Our sincere apologies for that disruption in our broadcast of the news. It was occasioned by a glitch with our audio, which has now been resolved. Thank you so very much for your understanding. Let's take you back to our earlier story, where there are growing concerns surrounding the recent joint U.S.-Nigeria airstrikes in Sokoto State as part of efforts to end insurgency, especially in the northern parts of the country. These airstrikes have sent shockwaves across Africa and Nigeria, as one of the continent's largest and most influential nations finds itself at the center of both regional and global discussions. What do these strikes mean for Nigeria's security, sovereignty, and international relations? Our correspondent, Sadiya Yakubu, attempts to find out.
The United States, in collaboration with Nigeria, carried out airstrike in some parts of Sokoto State few days ago, targeting armed groups like Boko Haram and ISIS West Africa. While the United States government insists these actions are aimed at protecting global security, such actions have raised alarms across Nigeria. These airstrikes not only have military and political implications, but also raise crucial questions about Nigeria's sovereignty and its role on global stage.
Implication of the United States strike in the city of Caliphate, Nigeria, Sokoto State, has a vast implication. Let me say, from a strategic point of view, it has become a challenge that tested Nigeria's capacity or capability to fight the enemies in Nigeria. It has also tested our diplomatic posture on the world stage.
With ongoing battles against insurgent groups in the northeast and a rising threat from banditry across the northwest, the intervention of foreign military forces could further complicate matters.
I think that's a welcome development. It's not a thing of joy that day in, day out, we wake up with stories, people killing, people died, people kidnapped, people raped. If there's a solution from anywhere, we need to clap and welcome them.
Nigeria has been careful in its foreign policy, balancing relationships with global powers like the United States and China, while protecting its regional leadership in Africa. However, these airstrikes could complicate Nigeria's position as a key player in the African Union and on the global stage. How will the government address these concerns with its citizens, and what will this mean for Nigeria's international relationships moving forward?
The insecurity in Nigeria have got out of hand, and anywhere, many citizens of Nigeria have been praying for this. So we're all happy the way US intervened.
It's clear that these airstrikes carry far-reaching consequences. While Nigerian security forces are already stretched, the diplomatic fallout from these strikes could have lasting effects on both United States-Nigeria relationships and the broader geopolitical landscape in West Africa. Analysts say the government must reassure the public that it has control over security matters and that foreign interventions won't come at the cost of Nigerian sovereignty. It could also acknowledge the realities on the ground, that these extremist groups do pose a significant threat to survival of the nation. Sadiya Yakubu, reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you, Sadiya. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has secured a federal high court order in Lagos State to detain a cargo vessel and its 21 crew members following the seizure of 25.5 kilograms of cocaine at the Apapa seaport. Ubang Usoro now reports.
The drug consignment was discovered on December 6, 2025, aboard the merchant vessel MV San Antonio, which arrived from Brazil. NDLEA operatives acting on credible intelligence uncovered the cocaine concealed in the ship hatch during inspection. After the vessel fully discharged its cargo, the ship's captain and 20 other crew members of different nationalities were taken into NDLEA's custody while the seized drugs. This interception comes weeks after similar operations at the same seaport, where NDLEA officers seized about 20 kilograms of cocaine hidden in another Brazil-born vessel, MV North Bostros, on November 16. Following the latest seizure, the NDLEA filed an ex parte application before the Federal High Court in Lagos, seeking the detention of the vessel and its crew in line with international maritime and legal procedures. Justice Frida Nkemakowa Ogazi granted the application, ordering the detention of MV San Antonio and the 21 crew members for an initial period of 14 days to allow the conclusion of investigation and the filing of criminal charges. The case has been adjourned to December 29, 2025. The chairman and chief executive officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Mawa, retired, described the seizure as further proof of the agency's resolve to block international drug syndicates from using Nigeria as a transit or destination country. He commended officers of the Apapa Strategic Command for successive interceptions and reaffirms the agency's commitment to sustain collaboration with local and international partners to combat illicit drug trafficking and substance abuse.
Evidently, such a commendable job being done by the NDLEA. After the Christmas holidays declared by the federal government, civil servants across the country have returned to work. At the National Secretariat in Abuja, activities have gradually picked up as workers resumed official duties. Again, correspondent Ubango Sero now reports.
The Christmas break is over. Public offices at the National Secretariat in Abuja are once again coming alive. Following the federal government's declaration of public holidays to mark the Christmas celebrations, civil servants had been away from work, spending time with families and loved ones. As the office reopened, workers were seen arriving early, signing attendance registers, and settling into their various duties, although activities appeared low in some ministries and departments. While some offices recorded near full attendance, others experienced low turnout. Some workers attributed the situation to post-holiday fatigue and travel delays. Despite this, essential services and administrative offices gradually resumed, signaling a steady return to normal government operation. Ishmael Badamasi, a civil servant who spoke to us, said he is grateful for the holiday, but it's time to get back to work.
This is a festive period, and many people travel home to go and celebrate Christmas and New Year. As you can see around the Federal Secretariat, not many have returned yet, but there are still few civil servants in the offices.
Others who spoke said that some civil servants had traveled and may not resume until January 2026.
Work have resumed.
People and the office today, they came to the office.
So the federal government gave the 25th and 26th of December as public holidays. Today we visited the Federal Secretariat here just behind me to check if civil servants are back to work. And for those who spoke to us, said yes, they are back to work today, being the 28th of December, but a lot of persons are not still at the office. Some are because they've taken their leave during this festive period, and some because they say there are nominal roles to play at the office. My name is Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
Well, thank you, Usoro. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has predicted a sunny and cloudy atmosphere from today to Wednesday across the country. The NIMET weather outlook released in Abuja envisages sunny skies over the northern region throughout the forecast period. The agency stated that sunny skies with a few patches of clouds are anticipated over the central region throughout the forecast period. This is Global Television. You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime with Uyi Agmofwegbe. For the rest of the news returns, Anthony Joshua injured in Nigeria car crash with 2 others dead. Details shortly, plus business and foreign stories for you on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. The second part of this news broadcast now returns with business, where President Bola Tinubu has approved the cancellation of a substantial portion of debts owed by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to the Federation accounts, wiping off about $1.42 billion and 5.57 trillion naira. The approval was documented by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, titled Report of October 2025 Revenue Collection presented at the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee meeting held on 18th November 2025. The directive effectively clears the legacy debts accumulated up to December 31, 2024, resolving long-standing disputes between NNPC Limited and the Federation while leaving current liabilities from 2025 operations under ongoing monitoring. The Federation Account Allocation Committee has continued its investigation into the Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme, as only 3 out of 7 participating companies have responded to requests for details on their involvement, expenditure, and project execution under the program. This was disclosed in the reports of the FARC Post-Mortem Subcommittee meeting for November 2025, which reviewed deductions made for the scheme between February 2024 and September 2025. The document indicates that the subcommittee wrote to the Federal Ministries of Finance and Works, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, as well as firms participating in the scheme. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, indicates that the country's external reserves grew by $4.39 billion between December 23, 2024 and December 23, 2025. The data indicated that the reserves increased by approximately 10.7% within the period under review. As of Tuesday, December 23, the foreign exchange reserves stood at $45.24 billion, higher than $40.85 billion on the same day last year. The reserves have maintained an upward trajectory in the last few months of the year, although there were periods of decline. Still talking business, electricity distribution companies, DISCOs, have commenced the distribution of prepaid meters at no cost to their customers, although it was gathered that the meters are largely for Band A and some Band B customers. This is coming a few weeks after the chairman of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Musiliu Hossaini, accused the DISCOs of refusing to pick available meters for onward distribution to their customers. At the recently held 4th Nigerian Electricity Supply Industry Stakeholders Meeting in Abuja, Hossaini revealed that there are currently between 600 and 700 meters available in the country. Let's take the news beyond our shores tonight. Somalia is leading a growing international backlash against Israel over its recognition of Somaliland as an independent state. In a statement, the Somali Prime Minister's office said the region is an integral, inseparable, and inalienable part of Somalia's sovereign territory and rejected Israel's recognition as unlawful. The African Union, the Arab League, Nigeria, Egypt, and a number of other countries and international organizations have condemned Israel's actions, saying they pose a serious threat to international peace and security. And still in Africa, hopes of peace in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo are fading after fresh clashes erupted in the town of Uvira, raising concerns about the fragility of recent diplomatic efforts. The violence comes just a few weeks after Rwanda and the Congolese government reaffirmed their commitment to a U.S.-brokered peace deal in Washington, despite the Rwanda-backed M23 rebel group not being a signatory to the agreement. Although the United States accused Rwanda of violating the deal and M23 announced it would withdraw, residents say rebel fighters have remained in Uvira, some dressed in plainclothes or police uniforms. Officials say a train carrying 250 people has derailed partially in southern Mexico, killing at least 13 people and injuring 98. The train was carrying 9 crew members and 241 passengers at the time of the accident, with 139 reported to be out of danger, while 36 of the 98 injured were still receiving medical assistance. In a statement posted on X, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum stated that at least 5 of those injured were in what she described as serious condition. President Sheinbaum said she has directed the Secretary of the Navy and other senior personnel to travel to the area and assist the families of those affected. adding that the Ministry of Interior is coordinating the response to the incident. Mexico's Attorney General's office also said it is opening an investigation to determine the cause of the accident. The Mexican Navy said the interoceanic training linking the states of Oaxaca and Veracruz went off the rails as it passed a curve near the town of Nizanda. Well, let's bring you some excitement from the world of sports. The final round of group stage matches at the Africa Cup of Nations begins today, with qualifications still open for most teams as the race for the knockout stage intensifies. This was contained in a release titled AFCON 2025. Final group games begin as knockout race tightens in Morocco, which is on the CAF websites. According to the Confederation of African Football, only 3 teams, Egypt, Nigeria, and Algeria, have secured places in the round of 16 after winning their first 2 matches, leaving the remaining slots to be decided over the final set of group fixtures. A former heavyweight boxing champion, Anthony Joshua, has been injured after an SUV conveying him crashed into a stationary truck along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in the Makun area of Ogun State, an accident that claimed the lives of 2 other occupants. The Federal Road Safety Corps confirmed that the crash, which occurred around 11 a.m., involved a Lexus Jeep and a parked commercial truck, with preliminary investigations linking the incident to excessive speed and wrongful overtaking, while Joshua sustained minor injuries and was rescued alive. FRSC further said the injured victim was taken for medical care. The deceased were deposited at a morgue in Shagamu, and authorities have reiterated calls for motorists to avoid speeding and dangerous overtaking, especially on high-speed corridors during the festive travel period. Let's now bring Global TV News Prime to a close with a look at some of our big stories. The Nigerian Air Force has recorded a major breakthrough in the ongoing offensive against armed banditry in Zamfara State, with the successful execution of 2 precision airstrikes on key bandit strongholds in Shafe local government area. In business, data from the Central Bank of Nigeria indicates that the country's external reserves grew by $4.39 billion between December 23, 2024 and December 23, 2025. On the foreign scene, officials say a train carrying 250 people has derailed partially in southern Mexico, killing at least 13 people and injuring 98. And finally, in sports tonight, we told you former heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua has been injured after an SUV conveying him crashed into a stationary truck along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Makun area of Ogun State, an accident that claimed the lives of 2 other occupants. And that's our news for you tonight. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using our Global TV NG as well as other handles now showing on your screen. On behalf of my colleagues who have made tonight's news broadcast possible, I am Uji Agumofwebe saying bye-bye.